Time. Should we look back to more harmonious times in the past to find environmental solutions, or is it best to move into the future? Past versus future leaning orientations are found across the political spectrum today. The Ecotypes time axis considers how our options for environmental solutions take quite different forms if we seek to recover the past versus innovate the future. This relates to the Ecotypes theme of old versus new knowledge. There's a spectrum of thought on the time axis. To the left is the past pole, and to the right is the future pole. Let's look at either end of the spectrum. I believe that many of our environmental problems arose from our headlong rush into the future, and now we must look back to the past to find solutions. We need not look to the past for environmental solutions, given our potential for future ingenuity and progress. Let's listen to some student anecdotes relating to the time axis.
Yeah, so much of negative human environmental impact has occurred since the Industrial Revolution, which shows me that humanity's new trend to consume so much is what's causing a lot of environmental problems. And I think we can look to the ways that people lived in the past to an extent to recognize how it's important to be a steward of the environment. And thinking about, like, through history, how Native Americans have been a great example of taking care of the environment and respecting it. And so I think that we can in some ways look to the past to see how society today can use some of that. And I'm sure Native Americans are carrying some of those traditions today too, but for other societies as well, to be able to take knowledge from the past and how life was much more sustainable then in order to try and support being more sustainable today and into the future. It's still notable that the world is different today. We're not going to have a world that replicates the past, nor would that be a good thing, because modern technology is helpful today. It's good to an extent that we have consumption, that we have more food available for people, more medicine available for people. So we have to figure out how to merge practices of the past and values and lifestyles to meeting the needs of today and trying to make the best lives for everybody. I think that there's a chance that in the future we will have more technology that can help people live lives longer or with better quality, but I also don't think that we can entirely count on that. So it really is kind of a merging of thinking about the past and the future.
I I do still think that old knowledge is important, and we definitely should look at old knowledge and old advice or past advice and all that because it is important. We can't ignore what previous people have done to find solutions. But also, I think that we are now going into a new era that those solutions won't help us this time. I do think we are in the Anthropocene, and now that's way different than it was, I don't know, like 500 years ago, you know what I mean? So it's just like now there's new problems and new things that are rising that we need to think about that maybe old solutions and old advice may not work anymore. So I do think it's changing. Think a lot of things are changing, and I do think that advice should be changing on how to address these problems. I mean, um, and that's why there was a change. I used to think that maybe past knowledge is more important, but now I do think that I see all this change happening, and I do feel that we are going to need new solutions and not just things we have done before. We need to try new things, think of new ideas, new solutions, and I think that's the only way to move forward because I don't know, we're just changing and everything the world is changing so fast. So, you know, I just feel like we gotta look at more into like what to do in the future kind of thing.
It would be difficult to convince a lot of people to ignore advances made in technology, in things that we know now, um, in order to solve issues. I'm thinking right now of, dam removals. And that is one instance in which past knowledge might actually be more beneficial than future knowledge. because you can make what are they called? Fish escalators or fish stairs? Um, and those are great, but most of the time they aren't fully beneficial. Like they don't do quite enough to help the populations. And so more often than not, dam removal can actually be more beneficial. But other than that, there are very few instances where I think that knocking down human ingenuity is better.
In terms of time, I think that there definitely is value in older knowledge. Particularly, I think indigenous knowledge in environmentalism is really interesting and really valuable. But I think generally, since the world is changing and it's, a different time, looking forward in general is a better practice, which can mean adapting older solutions to fit our current needs. So there is value in the past, but I think perhaps it should be at least shifted a bit.
Where do your opinions lie on the time axis? Should we look at the past or into the future as we search for solutions to our environmental problems in the present? You can find out by taking the Ecotypes survey at ecotypes.us. It only takes a few minutes and will immediately give you comprehensive results about you. If you want to dive even deeper into Ecotypes, the website has more information and there's even a book coming soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you gained something valuable from it. This Ecotypes video series is all unfunded work, so if you would like to support us and know of any further opportunities, please get in touch and engage with this video by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps us out. So thank you so much and stay curious.